Hi everybody, my name is Kunle Pelemo. You can call me KP. I'm asking you to join me every Friday 5:30 p.m. GMT on the MHAASP show right here on MZ Radio London. It's a show where we talk about mental health and suicide prevention. Set a reminder for that. And just before I go, I want to let you know I care about your mental health. And you know what? Stick around right here on this station. Don't go nowhere.
It's good to be back again on another edition of the MHAASP show with KP. You know what this show is all about already. We discuss mental health and suicide prevention. You know, we're reaching you live on MZ Radio London and AP Radio UK. I'm your host, Kunle Pelemo. You know how we say it whenever I'm right here with you. KP in the building. I must say it loud and clear that I'm delighted to have you join me on this particular edition of the show. It promises to be an interesting one, no doubt about that. Okay, before I discuss what I have for you on the show today, let me enjoin you to tell as many of your family and friends as possible to join you in listening to this station. You know what you get when you keep it locked to MZ Radio London and AP Radio UK. Talk of inspiration, motivation, soul-lifting songs, educative programs, sports, and many more. You have them all when you stick with us. I also want to let you know that you can follow us on Twitter at MZ Radio London. We want to interact with you. Yeah, this is because we'll be having some ways of challenging you to do more, and we'll need feedbacks from you. Also, we'll be having some series with guests, and that will require your questions and thoughts on what they discuss on the show. So it gets no better than this. We're working harder to serve you better, no doubt, to increase our reach so we could impact, and then we will cut across to more people and also ensure you stay mentally healthy. Tweet at us at MZ Radio London, hashtag the program of reference. For example, if it is this show, hashtag the MHAASP show. So what are you waiting for? Go follow us on Twitter at MZ Radio London now. All right, for a couple of weeks on the show, we discussed mental health and workplace productivity. And I'm sure you got some relevant tips from those editions. On this edition, we're coming home. How do I mean? We'll commence another series titled Mental Health and Family Living. Mental Health and Family Living. This is a series that will help in positioning each member of the family in the right posture to help other family members in terms of their mental well-being. We will look at the anatomy of the mental health of the male spouse, female spouse, and that of the children in the family. I believe getting conversant with this makes helping each other in the family easier. On this particular edition, let's start by analyzing the man's mental health. What are the things a wife needs to know about a man's mental health and how she can help him build a great mental strength? This and many more will come after this musical break. My man Ophios and Pastor Promise Adeyemi on this one. The song is titled I'll Worship You.
Lord, I give my body as a living sacrifice. sacrifice, only acceptable unto you alone. And Lord, I love to worship in spirit and in truth. My soul and my spirit purified and more, Lord, with my heart, with my soul, I will worship you. You, Lord. I'll bless you, Lord. I'll give you praise. I'll give you praise. Hey. With my heart, with my soul, Lord, I worship you. With my heart and my soul, Lord. With my body and my life, Lord. I will worship you.
MZ Radio London. Stay tuned. Be blessed.
Welcome back. That was a wonderful song by my brother and friend Ophios and Pastor Adeyemi. This is still the MHAASP show with KP on MZ Radio London and AP Radio UK, and we're talking about mental health of male spouse under the series Mental Health and Family Living. A Spanish proverb says, a man too busy to take care of his health is like a mechanic too busy to take care of his tools. So you know what that means. Nobody should be too busy to take care of his or her mental health, and that's why we're trying to see how we can take care of mental health of each member of the family, be it male, be it female, or the children as well. It's been observed that men have some attitudes about their mental health which they exhibit as a kind of conformity to certain traditional beliefs or culture. This is part of what is referred to as toxic masculinity in social sciences. Let us consider some of these toxic attitudes that are harmful but remain popular in practice amongst our men. The essence of this consideration is for other family members to try and help the male counterparts in overcoming such attitudes. According to the Mental Health Toolkit of Skill Collective, the attitudes include the following. Number 1, thou must be self-sufficient. Thou must be self-sufficient. And that is what the society is really putting out to our men out there. And those things are creating pressure on our men, that you have to be self-sufficient. You don't even have to look for help somewhere because you are a man. And then that's why we have a whole lot of men who are under pressure. You have to pay this bill, you have to pay that bill, and then you don't even need the help of anybody, because as a man you must be self-sufficient. And that is very harmful, because the reason why the female counterparts are created is to be a helpmeet to the man. And then that's why we are not created to be in isolation. We are created to be interdependent. So that means we are neither dependent or independent. So I will need you, then you will need me, and the two of us, or as many of us, will come together to achieve a common goal. So that makes it easier. But the society somehow, most especially in some parts of the world, has put that pressure on men that this is how they should live their lives, that they have to be self-sufficient. It is totally harmful, and that is one of those toxic masculinity in our society that we must take note of. So as a woman, you must take note of this in your man, so that you advise him that, honey, come on, I'm here to help you. In what way can I come in? In what way shall I help you? Because if you don't know, the pressure will begin to pile up in him, and then that might create a kind of anxiety, or will make him slip into depression and so many other mental health disorder. Some of them might resolve to substance abuse, maybe alcoholism, and so on and so forth. These are the things we have to bring to the table and discuss in order to help our men in the family. Because of time, let me run through other ones. We have thou shalt act tough. That is also another toxic attitude that our men portray. Thou shalt act tough. That's what people have been telling them. You must be tough. Even when you are going through something, your wife must not know, your children must not know, even nobody must know. Do not tell anybody. That is not being tough. Being tough is when you are going through something and then you can go ahead and tell somebody that this is what I am going through. I need help. You know, being tough is when a man comes home and walks to his wife and tell the wife that, honey, I'm at a crossroad, I'm at a dead end, I don't even know what to do. Do you have any idea of what I can do? You know, those things will ease you of a whole lot of burdens. It will ease you a whole lot of stress, because when two comes together, they are better than one. And then we have another one, number 3, thou shalt conform to rigid masculine roles. Thou shalt conform to rigid masculine roles. Some roles have been conditioned or had been put out that this is what a male should, that the male should do. This is masculine role. This is what you must conform yourself to doing, and you must not do this role because they are feminine roles. So, and it's creating a whole lot of confusion, a whole lot of fracas in homes because of that. So we must take note that there should be flexibility. The more rigid we become at home as a man, or the more rigid you see your husband become, then the more the likelihood of him getting into some mental health related issues. So you must watch out for that. And then real men want to have sex with multiple partners and will not refuse sex. You know, that is part of what the society has pushed our men to doing, and that's why we have to, as much as possible, try to change that kind of orientation to position our men in the right wife. You also need to look out for some of these things in order to help our male counterpart. The last but not the least, because of our time, real men are always in control and can use violence if necessary to gain respect. That is totally absurd. And then I want everybody to note all these things that we are saying at home in order to help one another. Because of our time, this is where we are going to stop. I'm sure we've been able to lay down the foundation, and then we'll continue from that to see how we can help our men at home when it comes to their mental health in the next edition of the show. Our time flies. This is where we're going to draw the curtain of today's edition of the MHAASP show with KP on MZ Radio London and AP Radio UK. You know what the good news is? There's always a next week. Yes, I'm going to be here next week, and then we will have another wonderful time together. Thanks to my producer, Mr. Soji Harmony. I really appreciate your effort, and then my brother and friend Ophils for making this happen on AP Radio UK. Until I see you next week, thank you so much. Stay mentally healthy. I will leave you with a song of Jesus Network Choir, and this one is titled Overcome.
there's nowhere else to go. You have fasted, you have prayed, you have waited so patiently, and nothing is coming for you. Be rest assured that your advocate will review your case and will vindicate you soon. You'll overcome. Just despise this present shame and looking on to the glory days before you. You'll overcome. Stay strong. Hold on. You'll overcome. You'll overcome. Stay strong. Hold on. You'll overcome. You'll overcome. You gotta stay strong. Live to Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith.
Asking questions, many questions, like will I ever overcome? Does depression be there and oppressions around? Fighting daily, the war within. The flesh is roaring to manifest, but my eyes are on you to overcome. Sunday morning, the preacher preach, your harvest coming, it's within reach. Got me questioning, will my harvest come? Be confident, be assured, night may linger for a while. The sun will shine again, you'll overcome. Stay strong. You'll overcome. Say stay strong. No matter what comes your way, you just gotta hold on. Hold on to Jesus, the Alpha and the finisher of the faith. Hold on to Jesus, He's the strong tower and the way maker. I've got something to tell you. When they're gonna get some, you gotta praise on this something above. You can praise your way through. You can praise your way through. There is power when you praise His name. You can praise your way. There is power when you praise His name. I will praise my way. In the good times, in the bad times, on the mountain, in the valley. I will praise, I praise, I praise, I praise, I praise. Hold on to Jesus, He's the strong tower and the way maker. Stay strong. Hold on. You'll overcome.
It's all about kingdom business. MZ Radio.